Hey everybody, DeLongShot Signatures here. This will be the first of two videos that I will be making today. This one is going to be probably my longest video that I have done so far. Just a whole bunch of autograph editions from this past Thursday. We were going to start off real quick with an in-person success. Very close to where I live, a old Marsh supermarket, grocery store that has been gone forever. Was finally purchased by a race team, renovated, and they did their grand opening this past Thursday. That was HMD Motorsports. When they initially announced that this event would be happening, it sounded like they would have at least some drivers there for meet and greet opportunities and maybe help give tours of the new facility. That ended up not being the case, but a driver did show up. An item was provided, and I was able to get that signed. So this guy is the son of the owner of H&D Motorsports, and unfortunately he's not racing an IndyCar this year due to an injury, but I was able to get another autograph on a small die-cast car of David Malukas. I really wish I would have brought my own Sharpies in that I had in the car, because I didn't even know he was going to be there. And he was signing all of these for people. They were given one away to each person. Not the best marker in the world, but it was free. It was an autograph, and I'm going to take it. Not going to complain too much about it. Because that event didn't have, a driver's autograph session or meet and greet or anything. Ended up leaving there way sooner than expected. Went to work, and then I looked at the schedule for the Indy Memorabilia show, racing memorabilia show, whatever they call it, and found out a couple days before that the times were different than what I expected. I thought it was something that ran throughout the day, so I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to go. I might have to skip Legends Day in order to go to it, because the guy that I got a whole bunch of stuff for, a whole bunch of autographs, like $1 or $2 from, was going to be there, and I was like, I really want to go through like more of his collection and see what I can get, because he said he was going to be there. He was, because I looked at the schedule, and on Thursday it ran from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and it was about a 25-minute drive from where I was when work ended. So I zoomed my way down there. I didn't speed. I got my way down there and had a couple of hours to look through this guy's collection and someone else's collection, and ended up making a bunch of purchases. He did have a $2 bin for, sorry, I was trying to see the total amount that I got. He did have a $2 bin of 8x10s, which was $1 at the Juncos Hollinger Racing. And then it was the same deal for hero cards, $3 each, or $2.50 for 10. And then he also had a massive binder collection full of a bunch of signed 8x10 photos that were hard to find names, new autographs, stuff that was just in great condition, and I was able to add so much for many different collections that I'm working on, as well as just some pieces that I thought were cool. I might already have the person's autograph, but it might be like a hard to find item, and for the deals that I got, it was well worth it. Did spend a lot of money, and ironically, I lost my debit card there. It is locked, and I did contact someone at the event. I haven't heard anything back on whether they found it or not. I can always just get a new one. But thankfully, I was able to purchase these. I lost it after buying everything. So we're going to go in alphabetical order of all the purchases of 114 autographs. First is an AJ Allmendinger IndyCar hero card. I already have a bunch of AJ Allmendingers, but I don't have anything of him during his IndyCar days, so I thought that was pretty cool. A lot of these are marked with prices. I did not spend for most of them. The price that is showing on here is not what I spent for it. We got an Alex Tagliani. I didn't remember which Alexander Rossi hero cards I had signed since he's joined McLaren, so for $2.50 I was like, alright, we'll just buy another one. A lot of the stuff that was in the $2 bin was unmarked or had the wrong name on it, so if I didn't recognize the signature, I would try and buy it if I thought I could identify it. And some of them ended up being autographs I already have in the collection, but hey, for $2 you can't go wrong. Andy Hillenberg, I've gotten him a couple times TTM. And then we've got, I'm pretty sure this is Andy Michner. There's not very many comparable autographs because I only think he attempted one Indy 500. And the other autograph that I saw doesn't really look like this one. So I don't know if this is like an older signature or a newer signature. Not really sure. I'm pretty sure that's who it is. Then there were a couple of items that were there in the $2 bin that ended up not being racing related. But I said, you know what, we'll just go ahead and purchase these. This one is of model and actor Antonio Sabato Jr. Sign there, kind of dark spotted. I think he was in like General Hospital or something like that. I forgot that I already had this guy in the collection, but again, for $2, might as well just confirm that I get them. Ari Lyondike Jr. And then anything that is in these Amazon Basics sleeves were the 8x10s that I purchased out of his binders. Those were going for more, but he was having a 20% off sale. So even though I bought a lot and the prices were a lot more, I ended up saving quite a bit of money versus what he was originally asking for. So this is a Bill Puterbaugh, who passed away in 2017. Then we have former driver and longtime safety innovator who was in the Motorsports Hall of Fame. His safety stuff is all over racing. I think he even did some stuff with football. But this is Hall of Famer Bill Simpson, who passed away in 2019. I have a coworker who used to work for Bill Simpson as part either for Simpson Products or for Impact Racing, because Bill Simpson owned both of those, and I know he definitely worked for Impact Racing. But he said that Simpson was a pretty miserable guy to be around. Sounds like that guy really, really had some struggles in life. So it's really unfortunate because he looked happy a lot of times, but apparently he was not most of the time behind closed doors. Then we have a Bill Vukovich II. He is not the one who won 2 or 3 times in the 500, but instead his son, who passed away last year. Because I had only a couple of hours to go through this guy's entire collection, there was some stuff that I bought out of the $2 bin, and then there was another seller there that had their stuff like really organized, and it was super easy to go through. I didn't know who all I had bought the first time around, and so if I didn't recognize the name, I just went ahead and bought it at the second person's. So for some of these, I did get 2 of the same person. But this one is Billy Boat. And then out of the $2 bin was another Billy Boat. Then we have a Bob Christie autograph, who passed away in 2009. We have a Bobby Hamilton Jr. Hero card. I think he's in a couple of sets that I work on for NASCAR, but I don't think he signs through the mail. At least not anymore. Then we have a current, I can never get these right. I don't know if he's a USAC, Silver Crown, or World of Outlaws driver. Maybe he does both. But one of the best drivers in these cars right now, Brad Sweet. He was also a former JR Motorsports developmental driver because he did a little bit of NASCAR. Couldn't remember if I had this guy, and for $2.50, never hurts to get a new hero card that I know I don't have. Bruce Allen. Then I saw this name. I have a hero card of him that I received from Dale Coyne Racing because he and another driver had passed away in recent years. So to finally be able to add this autograph to the collection is really nice. But Brian Clausen, who died in 2016, I think it was due to complications from a wreck that he had in sprint cars or quarter midgets or something like that. But very, very cool to add that. And it's a very early signature, too, because this was during his time in the Road to Indy program. This one, I don't have a ton of information on this guy other than he was a very, very successful driver in Illinois. Bud Kohler, something like that. Passed away in 2003. Ended up purchasing this guy twice, and it's another 500 winner in the collection. Buddy Rice. And people keep telling me that it's crazy that I've never met Buddy Rice before, because he is at the 500 all the time during the month of May. I could not tell you what he looked like until recently. So I just went ahead and bought these because I was like, I just don't have the luck to ever meet him. Then we have a lower drag racing series hero card of Burwell Kendrick. Really don't have any other information on him. Then we got an 8x10 of Buzz Calkins. Got one of Carlos Munoz. One of Chuck Hulse. And then this one, I think it was $35, but for 20% off, I think that knocked it down to like $28 or something. This was definitely worth it. I've always wanted to get this guy. Haven't been able to get him during his short TTM windows. Never gotten him in person. And other places usually charge quite a bit anyway. So for $27, this is a really good deal. NASCAR Hall of Fame driver Dale Earnhardt Jr. Very, very happy to finally have him in the collection. And by adding him, I think I have the two principal owners of JR Motorsports, so I can now include their team stats in my collection. I did get to meet this driver once. She is very, 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 very difficult to get. Doesn't do TTM at all. Rarely does public appearances. Tried seeing if I could find her at the 500 yesterday, but I wasn't surprised that it didn't. She probably avoided all the crowds. She'll be there today if they... I doubt they run the race today at all, though. Danica Patrick. I didn't have anything of her during her time in IndyCar. I just have one NASCAR trading card signed by her. Because we're both in the $2 bin, and he can be kind of tough to get at the track, and I don't have a whole bunch of him, so purchased two Dario Franchides. Then got a hero card of former driver Darren Manning, who, if he still lives at the same address that I wrote to, actually doesn't live that far from me. So I'm kind of sad I never got that TTM, but it was there for $2.50, so I said, why not? Then we have one-time attempter, I think he only attempted one, Indy 500, David Pook. Then we have an 8x10 of Denny Zimmerman. Not sure why my computer keeps turning off. It doesn't normally do that. Then an 8x10 of Dick Simon, who is 90 years old now. He's still around. We got, this one's kind of ironic, Donnie Beechler. And it's ironic because I was purchasing this autograph as he was in the lobby doing an autograph session. If I had more time, I would have stopped at the autograph session real quick and then headed over to start looking through people's stuff. But I could only go for this one day, and I only had 2 hours to go through massive collections. And I didn't even get to look at everything that I wanted to. Then we got a hero card of lower NASCAR series driver Dorsey Schroeder maybe? This was one of the few that was actually correctly marked with the name, but EJ Visso. Then we have Eliseo Salazar.
And then I had to buy this autograph because he is so tough to get, and you'll find out why. It's ironic that I say that later. So tough to get, rarely makes public appearances, and he is a two-time Indy 500 winner. He's one of the last living 500 winners that I needed in the collection. I paid a decent amount for this, and it was, I think, only $5 more to get a framed one. So I just went ahead and did that because he is so tough to get, and it's a great looking photo. But two-time Indy 500 winner, two-time Formula One champion, and I think he won an IndyCar championship as well. Emerson Fittipaldi, with a great looking blue signature there. That was $60. That was the most I spent on any one item. Like I said, I did spend a lot of money, but I saved a lot of money too, so don't blame me. Then we have an Eric Bachelart, but there's an accent over the E in Eric, so it's like Arik or something like that. I think he attempted a few 500s. Bought two of this guy, Gabby Chavez. So this is the better looking signature, although it's not much of a signature. And then this one I think was the cheaper one because it's not as good of an autograph. So $2 for that one and probably $10 for that one. And then with the discount it'd be $8. Then we got an 8x10 of Gary Bettenhausen, who passed away in 2014. 8x10 of George Fulmer. We got an NHRA hero card of George Marnell. I don't think I have this hero card, so that's why I bought it, of Graham Rahal. I've got a whole bunch of Graham Rahal, but I don't think I have this one. I like the red scheme he's got going there. Then we have former NHR, or I think he was an IHRA driver. Yeah, Harold Martin. And then for another one for $2 and an earlier signature, way more full than some of the ones that I got this year, Elio Castroneves. Can't go wrong with that for $2. Bought two of this guy. One of them, kind of like the Chavez, was a good signature, and the other one is a very poor signature. So I only paid $2 for the poor one, and there was no way I would be able to know that this was the same autograph. So this is the good one of Jack Hawksworth, who raced for AJ Foyt for a while. And this is the $2 one. Very rushed signature there. That's why it was so cheap. Then we have a Jack Hewitt hero card, who raced in all different kinds of stuff. And he did race at IMS, but it was at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. No, it wasn't IMS. He raced at Indiana State Fairgrounds, but he did not race in the Indy 500. And then this guy races in all kinds of stuff. He might have even done Formula One for a season or two. But I know he's raced in NASCAR recently, and then he attempted the 500. James Davison. This is another one that wasn't racing related at all. It does have to do with cars, though, so I think he probably signed this at a car show. But this is a longtime actor, I think member of MASH, Jamie Farr, for $2.50. And then there were a few NASCAR names in the $2 bin, so if it was someone that I don't have a lot of, I just went ahead and bought another one. So this is a nice looking Jamie McMurray autograph. Then I didn't have this guy in the collection yet. Jamie Yates, who I didn't even know he raced in NHRA. Then we have a Jay Drake, who I think attempted a 500 but didn't make the field. Then we have a Jeff Bucknam 8x10. A Jerry Grant 8x10, who passed away in 2012.
a Jerry Sneva 8x10 who passed away in 2018. A Jim McElraith, I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. He passed away in 2017. Then I forgot that I had this guy, but again, for $2.50, and the fact that it's a hero card I know I don't have. Jim Yates. Then we have a Joe Leonard, not the greatest autograph. It is a little bit smeared or runny on the glossy photo, but he passed away in 2017. Then a Joe Saldana. This one was one of the first ones that I grabbed out of the guy's massive binder collection of signed 8x10s. And I know he has more. He said he does. And he was like, if there's anyone in particular that you're looking for, let me know. And I couldn't think of any names right at the moment, but I was like, I'm sure I'll see names that I don't recognize or that I know I want. And this was the first one I took out. He passed away a few years ago, wasn't able to ever get him TTM, and I've always wanted his autograph. John Andretti, who passed away due to cancer in 2020. I don't believe I have this hero card, so this was a nice one. John Force, with a very early signature. It's a 1994 hero card there. Then we have a John Martin 8x10. I don't think he's with us anymore. Nice looking signature, an old one. I completely forgot about the era when IndyCar had the digital number display on the car, which was so stupid looking in my opinion. Joseph Newgarden. I got to meet this guy once. I may have bought another hero card when I bought the stuff from the guy at the Hungos Hollinger event. I may have bought another one from him by doing this. But Juan Pablo Montoya. Then I bought another Justin Wilson autograph. This guy had a whole bunch, so just figured I'd go ahead and get a third one. Maybe I'll do a giveaway with that at some point. Then an 8x10 with a much earlier, much more full signature, but it's not terribly different from what she signs now. Catherine Legge. Then we have former Pro Stock driver, and his son now races in the Pro Stock division, Kenny Koretsky, father of Kyle Koretsky. He had a bunch of like quarter midgets, dirt racers, sprint drivers, and a bunch of stuff. I wasn't going to go through and buy all of them, but if it was a nicer looking hero card or I recognized the name, I went ahead and bought it. Carrie Madsen. I forgot that I recently got this guy through the mail, but never hurts to add a new hero card to the collection. Kurt Johnson. And then a lower series driver who eventually became a crew chief in NASCAR, Lance Hooper. Ended up buying two of this guy. Larry Dixon. So a bigger signature there, and then his more standard small signature. I have never been able to meet this guy at the track, although he is there all the time and is a great signer. So I just went ahead and bought one. Larry Foyt. I have a few trading cards signed at this guy, but it was a nice looking hero card. It is from, what year is this from? I have no idea. I don't see a year on it. But Loy Allen Jr. I think this is from 1992. And then I accidentally bought 5 autographs of one driver. Although it kind of works out because he is very tough to get in person. I got him on all my cards the first day that I went for the practices at the Indy 500. Never got him again after that. I did mean to buy 3 of his autographs because they were on hero cards and I really like them.
but I ended up purchasing 2 other photos that were signed of him that I did not realize it was this guy. But 5 of Marco Andretti. So that's the first 8x10. I liked this hero card. I thought this was a really nice looking autograph of his. And then another design that I really liked. Now I don't have to try and buy up his hero cards and take them to the track. I don't even know how many more 500s he's going to do. And then would not have been able to tell you as well that this was Marco Andretti. So I've got a whole bunch of his now, thankfully. Then we have former Formula One driver turned IndyCar driver Mario Moraes. Then an 8x10 of Martin Plowman. We got a NASCAR hero card of Mike Olson, signed in red. Then another IndyCar Formula One driver, Nicholas Minassian. I think he just raced a couple seasons in IndyCar. This one is a bit weird. So if this is legit, it's a great addition to the collection. However, the photo is very different. It's like extremely glossy and very, very thick. It almost feels like it's laminated on the top, but I know it's not. It's printed on some old Kodak glossy photo. So I could understand that if it's extremely glossy, the signature may not sit on it the same way that it would for like most glossy photos. But it almost looks like it's a reprinted signature, but there are a couple of pen like streaks that are very, very, very difficult to see. So I'm going to count it as authentic for right now. But I do know that everything else in this dude's collection that I bought is good. And I think there was one photo of his that I bought that had a reprinted signature, but I think it was out of the $2 bin because of that. I don't think he was trying to dupe me on anything. But if this is real, it's a really, really nice one because he was an IndyCar driver and a former Formula One champion, Nigel Mansell. So again, kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see right here a couple of like pen streaks, but everything else about the autograph is like so clean that it almost looks like it's printed on there. So I don't know for sure. It also could just be the signature has faded or like sunk into the photo over the years because it's definitely an older photo. Every photo is an older photo. What am I talking about? But I'm just not you know what, I'm not a document expert. I'm not a photography expert by any means. But as far as I can tell, it should be legit. So hopefully it is. Then we have an 8x10 signed by Patrick Bedard. A hero card that's a little bit damaged because I don't think this was from his own personal collection. I think he bought it from someone else and someone was taping a bunch of their crap. So some of these hero cards are damaged on the back. Patrick Carpentier. And we got a Paul Durant 8x10. We got another one of these sprint dirt car winged beasts of Paul McMahon. So his signature's there. Got a hero card of Phil Giebler. An 8x10. I don't know if this guy ended up ever making the 500. I think he attempted a bunch of times and never made it. But he did race, I think in the 50s and 60s for NASCAR and was pretty decent. Ralph Liguori, who passed away in 2020. We got a hero card of Rob Slavinsky, who I saw when looking him up that he passed away 2 or 3 years ago, unfortunately. I think he was only about 60 years old. For some reason, I thought I already had this guy's autograph in my collection, but I'm really glad I went ahead and bought it because I don't. Robbie McGehee? I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. I made a mistake with this one. So again, I was going through this dude's collection very, very quickly. So if it was a hero card, I just looked for the name on the hero card, and then if I wanted it, I grabbed it. Didn't try and focus too much on the autograph, anything like that. So what I thought what I was grabbing was a recently inducted NASCAR Hall of Famer, but instead I got a former or a longtime NASCAR Hall of Famer who has since passed away. I thought I was grabbing a Ricky Rudd autograph, but this hero card is instead signed by his former car owner, Robert Yates, which is a little bit ironic because right after that was a Robert Yates signed hero card. So can't be mad about getting deceased Hall of Famer for $2.50. Really $5 between the two. Just was really hoping to add Ricky Rudd because I don't have him in the collection. So maybe I'll give one of those away as well one day. Then we have a hero card of Roberto Moreno. We're almost done, I promise. There's still a little ways to go, but we're almost done. Then an 8x10 of Roger Mears, who I believe is the younger brother of Rick Mears and the father of Casey Mears. Then a hero card of Roy Payne. Then longtime Formula One driver and made some attempts at the Indy 500, Rubens Barrichello. Got this nice looking Ryan Hunter-Reay. Not the greatest signature. The marker didn't stick too well for it, but again, for $2.50, you got to go for it. Sam Hornish Jr. And then I saw that this guy would not be at the Legends signing this year, and I was so upset that I missed him last year. So I had to buy this, and just super impressive that this guy is still even able to sign at all. Sam Schmidt, who, if you guys don't know, was a very promising IndyCar driver in the late 1990s. And then I think during the off season in the year 2000, he suffered a horrific crash, became a paralyzed, I think the term's quadriplegic, if I remember correctly. He's wheelchair bound, but he has owned an IndyCar team for a long time. He is the co-owner of Arrow McLaren IndyCar team, and despite having all of his extremities paralyzed, when he signs autographs, he holds the pen in his mouth and produces a better autograph than 90% of the field that currently races. So unfortunately, the poor guy really struggles with autograph signing, of course, just based off of that information. But when he signs, he gives a great autograph. It's nice to still see him around at the track, still being involved with the sport that he loves. So very, very, very happy to finally add him to the collection. I might already have this hero card signed, but again, for as cheap as it was, if I end up with the double, I end up with the double. Scott McLaughlin. I was pretty sure I already had this guy's autograph in the collection, but I couldn't be too sure, and I do. Sebastian Saavedra. I figured I'd be able to figure out this guy's name, and I should have been able to figure out his signature as well, because I've gotten him TTM. But Stefan Gregoire. And then I knew I didn't have this guy in the NASCAR collection. He is part of the NASCAR 75 list for the 75 best drivers in NASCAR history. Probably won't make the Hall of Fame, but still a very, very solid addition to the collection. Sterling Marlin. Couldn't find any information on this guy other than his birthday, but longtime lower series driver Steve
Holzenhausen. Nice looking 8x10 of Steve Krisiloff, who I thought I had written to, but I apparently never did. Then we have young up-and-coming driver who will be racing part-time in the Indy Next Series this year, Taylor Ferns. And then I got this guy's autograph at the full field session for the Sancio Grand Prix. I got him TTM before, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to get a photo of him in an Indy car signed. Teo Porcher. Almost done here. Got this nice looking Tony Kanaan autograph for $2. Got an older Will Power photo for $2. And the last one, a legend in IndyCar, Formula One, even though I don't think he ever officially raced in Formula One. And I want to say he did the SRX series as well. But this is Willie T. Ribbs, who is the first ever African American to ever compete in the Indy 500, despite the first couple years having some really bad luck. I don't know if you could call it that, because it almost sounds like he was sabotaged, but he did make the show. I think he competed in 3 500s, and he was the first ever African American to test for a Formula One team. So very glad to add him. I haven't seen any TTM successes from him before, and I think this was only like $15, so it was well worth it to me. So that was just what I purchased and everything for Thursday. And then I do have one more video that'll be coming out later today, my Legends Day in-person autograph recap that I can't wait to share with you guys. So that is it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. Best luck with your guys' collecting. Take care.